My apologize. I apologize
Um,
to the group for getting on, but we're getting people coming on. We got two rock stars today. Imran, you don't want to show your face or what?
yeah, I'm just checking, why I'm not visible. Let me see.
Okay, no worries. We want to hear from you a little bit and see what's going on. Okay, we had an 11 o'clock meeting and Mark says we're late, and that was I apologize. I couldn't find the key to get into the meeting room, right? The
Okay,
password.
I have
Am I the
some.
only one who struggles with the 17 Zoom calls and links and passwords and what we're on?
Okay, I have some problem with my camera. I have to use another system. Give me a few minutes. Let me.
Well,
Let me
yeah, if Pinky was here, we'd want to see her. With you, maybe the camera's not good. I'm just kidding. All right, well let's jump into it. We got some people easing on. We'll have some more. So, and yet here's the theme of the team meetings that we continue to strive for, right? Top producers are continuing to go out there and find business even during a crisis and a pandemic. Call it whatever
Correct.
you want, right? Or a recession or a struggle in a down market, yet there's opportunity for everyone along the way. So Valerie, you continue to grow your business and you have a property management company. So tell us what you're experiencing right now.
So at this moment, I mean, we've stayed super busy with the amount of transactions that we've had. So we've sold over 4 million in production, almost 5 million in production in the last 60 days. So we've had over I believe 13 or 14 transactions that went under contract within the 60-day period.
Wow.
And we have leads that come in. We've been contacting our database, checking in with them to see how they're doing. We have an online presence, and people are still wanting to take advantage of the low interest rates.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a huge driving force. People that can still qualify are still needing a home. So we've seen a great amount of activity in the last two months.
Okay. All right, Imran. All right, we got the camera on. Oh,
Can you hear me?
yeah, I got you. All right, what are you experiencing right now?
Right. So as far as new construction, as you know, we sell a lot of new construction homes. March was really slow. Builders were not taking any walk-in clients. We were not taking any appointments because we didn't know what's going on and how to, adapt to the situation. But April and May has been crazy. When I talk to people that, it's kind of a seller's market, but people don't, it's hard for them to believe. Our team, I think we did almost, since March, we did 14 to 15 new construction contracts.
Wow.
And we were surprised because March was really slow for us, but last few weeks have been crazy. And the reason why we feel that there's so much of movement is because the mortgage rates have dropped. And especially if you see in mid 300 price point, inventory is very low and the mortgage rates have gone down. So that is, bringing a lot of excitement in buyers. So that's what we are looking at.
What's the appeal right now for the new construction? Why the demand? Why the demand on the new construction? What's the appeal or attraction to buyers?
So what happened and what I realized is as we entered into this situation, builders were not knowing what the situation is going to be. They were expecting that maybe there's going to be a construction material shortage, labor shortages. So what they did is in new construction, they decided not to start new inventory. So generally, we realized that moving in the summertime, people are looking for more inventory homes and not dirt build. And mortgage rates dropped. So now the demand has gone up because of the low mortgage interest rates, and there's less inventory. So that's, that's the big change that we are seeing right now.
Okay.
And what is happening is because a lot of builders also have their own mortgage companies.
Yeah.
So they're able to package the deals and promotion, which is, making it, more attractive for buyers.
Yeah. And it's a turnkey property.
Yes.
And they don't have to worry about somebody else living in the home before them, which is isn't obvious, but very.
Yeah. And people have more confidence in, walking those homes because it's a brand new construction.
Yeah.
In the home, right? So now that also, is helping in us showing the homes as compared to resale homes.
Okay. All right. Well, you guys led right into the inventory, right? We got a shortage of inventory. It's causing a demand. That's why the new construction, the make-ready properties. So what are you doing, or what are the challenges you're seeing in getting listings?
Oh, are you asking me?
Both of you, but I'll start with Valerie. Go ahead.
Okay, so based on, and I was running the numbers, and I actually ran the numbers a couple weeks ago, and the amount of active listings right now, compared to like the same time period last year, we're about 1,000 less active listings in Fort Bend, right? And so that creates a lot of demand, which is great for the seller side, and also it encourages buyers to move fast and get people under contract, and so. And then based on sold listings, but what's so great about it is that compared to last year, within the same 60-day period to this year, you have only a 300 properties that have the difference. So last year, within the same period, it was 2,296 properties that actually sold. And then this year, it's 1,999. So you only have 300 less properties that actually sold within that same time period, which is great. Properties are still moving. We've had, like right now we have 7 active listings, and you know, we have 3 that are about to go under contract. 3 that are will be listed on the market this week. People are still needing to sell their properties. You know, they relocated to California, or for whatever reason, they still have to put properties on the market, you know, for personal reasons. So we haven't had any issues with not having enough inventory to list personally.
Okay. All right. Talk to us virtually. We've gone a little bit virtually, virtual open houses, virtual showings, virtual appointments. Have you done any of that activity? And do you think some of it's going to continue into the future?
So personally, the clients that, okay, so we've always, like, based on the type of dynamic that we have with our clients, a lot of our clients are out of state. So we are used to doing virtual appointments, and those virtual appointments are phone calls, right? It's never been face-to-face on FaceTime or Zoom. And so we're used to that. At the same time, the clients that are here locally, none of them have asked for a virtual appointment. And then even one step further, because I personally do not wear a mask. I've been educated enough that I'm aware that masks it hinders a lot more than it actually helps. Anyways, so with that being said, I have approached my clients and I've asked them, you know, because I don't usually wear one, would you like me to wear one? Would you feel more comfortable if I wear one? And none of them have asked me to wear one. So with that being said, even in that aspect, they feel comfortable with me meeting with them and just having a conversation with them in person. Obviously, we keep our distance and, you know, we take precaution. And at the same time, it just feels like a normal process. None of my clients have done virtual appointments. I'm not saying that that's not taking place.
Okay. All right, Imran, how would you respond to listings and the virtual world?
So in March, we had some listings that we postponed to April and May. So right now we have around 10 listings.
Yeah.
And as far as virtual reality is concerned, we have been, you know, able to do just one listing presentation virtually. And that was because the girl who was listing this home, she was tech savvy. But most of our sellers, they don't have access to technology. And it's very hard for us to convince them to, you know, do it virtually. So we are still doing appointments, but we are making sure that we are following the CDC guidelines. So that way, you know, we don't put our sellers or our team members in any, you know, risk of infection. So that's what we are following right now.
Okay.
And as far as virtual reality is concerned, our team has always been, you know, very focused on doing video tours and 3D virtual tours. So that we were already equipped with that. So that experience is helping us in, you know, catching up with, you know, adapting to the situation. So this is not something new that we are doing. We have always been doing that for past months.
Okay. All right. So what's the outlook? We'll go with Imran first. What's your outlook? What do you see happening in the next 60 to 90 days in the world of real estate?
So If you talk about new construction, I think the inventory is going to be very tight, and it is
Yeah.
more like, I see that there's going to be price increase in a lot of areas. Now, different areas will have different impact. I'm going to talk about Southwest, where we have bigger communities, let's say Aliana, Harvest Green. In that area, as I said, inventory is very less, and we see that the prices may go up in another 30 to 60 to 90 days.
Yeah.
Now, when we talk about bigger communities, we have different sections. We have 45 foot, we have 50 foot, so different price point.
Yeah.
So there are homes in 300, there are homes in 500s, there are homes in $1 million plus. So it's gonna be a different effect in different sections of these communities. As far
Well, let me
as
stop you right there because you said some really key beats I want the people to hear on this is inventory is tight. New construction, they're going to sell everything that is ready or going to be ready really quickly because of the desire for the new construction. They're going to have some costs that are going to go up with it. So if you're going to have clients that want new inventory, they want new construction, you would say move now. Because they're going to be.
So what's funny is, a lot of buyers, when we come across, they say, hey, it's a COVID-19 situation. Are we getting some extra incentives or discount? And I tell them, forget about getting extra incentives and discounts. We don't even have enough homes to show.
Yeah.
If I give you an example, if you're
That's
looking for
very
a
good.
one-story home in communities like Harvest Green and Aliana, and if your price point is under 350, probably I can show you 2 or 3 homes. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this is what the situation is right now.
Yeah. Yeah. That's some key things as well. All right. Very good. Any other outlooks on 60 to 90 days? It's interesting because we got a shortage of inventory. We have a crisis, pandemic, whatever you want to call it. We got interest rates and doing it. And on top of that is oil and gas as well. Hopefully that moves up. It was $1.29
Right.
for a gallon
So
on the street on Crab River one day last week. $1.29.
Wow.
Okay. Valerie, what are you seeing in the next 60 to 90 days?
So within the next 60 to 90 days, as long as we have our low inventory that we're maintaining, I mean, we should still continue to have a good amount of business come through. People are still taking advantage of those low interest rates. I mean, I foresee that we'll continue churning. The amount of activity that we've had on our listings, I mean, there's still activity, there's still showings.
Yeah.
People are contacting me, regarding asking questions, things like that. So it looks very promising, for the next 60 to 90 days.
Okay. All right. Talk to me a little bit about the property management, right? So how many homes do you guys manage for?
We're
landlords?
at 220.
220. What's your goal by the end of the year?
I'm working on that goal. We are working on that goal. Our goal is to go up to 300, 300, 310 active property management clients, because you always have a net, right?
Yeah.
Right? You have clients that either terminate because they're moving back into the home, or they need to sell, whatever the reason is. And so the goal, the magic number would be 300 by the end of this year, and we're working towards that goal. In reference to, so at the beginning of all of this, I mean, I did have huge concerns where tenants wouldn't be able to make their rent payments. And thankfully in April, we did have at the beginning probably about 20 to 25 tenants that were struggling with making their rent payments on time. And at the end of the month, all of them had made their rent payment except for one. She decided to vacate without being irresponsible and such. So only 1 out of 220 properties.
Okay.
In the month of May, we've had 11 tenants out of the 220 properties, 11 tenants that haven't been able to pay their rent by the 5th of the month. And they're all on payment plans.
Okay.
So it's not bad. It's not bad, and I do, aside from the fact that, there is government assistance, for some of these tenants that are struggling, at the same time, and this is my personal opinion, I believe our screening process really, really helps with locating good tenants that are responsible just in nature, and so, we have good tenants that want to make sure that they pay the rent.
Yeah.
And I've heard of stories where tenants are just taking advantage of the situation and not wanting to pay their rent because they have their right to not pay their rent. They know the loopholes that we're currently facing as property managers and for landlords. So
okay, let's jump ahead. Next question. And I didn't put this in here. What are your challenges right now? What's your biggest challenge that you face in this current crisis, so to speak? Who wants to show it off? What's your greatest challenge?
Do you want to go first, Imran?
Yeah, Imran, what do you got? What's your greatest challenge right now?
So the greatest challenge that we faced recently was we are in a situation that has happened for the first time. We were not prepared for this. When you read books, when you see experiences of recession, depression, shift in the market going down. When you are a business owner, you always have a strategy that what if if the market goes down. Just like we had something in 2008. You knew you have this training, you have this resources, you have thoughts to put in together that, okay, if we have this kind of situation, this is how we're going to handle it. We are in a complete different situation. We had no strategies. And that was the biggest challenge. It came to us as a big surprise that, okay, what do we do next? People are not going out. Even I was personally scared. I was still getting appointments in March. People wanted to go and wanted me to show homes. And I was concerned for my family. It was not more on the economical side. It was more about, health issues, concerns for my family, for my younger kids. And I was just not taking appointments. I sat at my home for almost 1 month. I said, I don't want to go out. So.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right. That's pretty transparent. I appreciate you sharing that with us. Okay. Valerie, what's your greatest challenge? Besides Ernest.
He's not here to defend himself. That's not very nice. So my biggest challenge, and I have, and I guess it leads to the next question or such. So the amount of information that's out there that's available, I believe, in my opinion, I'm pretty well versed with what's going on, in throughout the U.S. and stuff, things that are regarding COVID. So my biggest challenge was becoming knowledgeable regarding that information and knowing how to control that information to be able to move forward. So that was one of my biggest challenges for the last couple of weeks. I believe knowledge is power. So whenever you have knowledge and you have education regarding the subject, then you're able to apply it and move forward from there. And so with the media that there is, I have come to find out that 5 of the media channels are lobbyists and they provide incorrect information. And so once you decipher through that information and actually get legitimate information, you're able to move forward without allowing the fear to control you. And so that's huge for me. So I don't have fear of COVID-19. I believe in building up your immune system to be able to fight a virus, just like with any other virus. COVID-19 is just like any other virus, where if you're able to have a strong immune system, taking your vitamins, and there's certain vitamins that I know that I'm supposed to take, you're able to fight COVID-19, the flu, anything else. And so with that information, I'm my family, myself, my husband, we're very well equipped. We aren't practicing social distancing. And I respect people. I do not come close to people that do not feel the same way. I'm perfectly fine. So with that information, that right there has been my biggest challenge. And with that being said, I have a KW coach, and she's made a huge impact on me with making sure to keep on track, because whenever you have that much information, you kind of deter, right? And second, I have started, I'm a believer, I'm of Christian faith since I was 21, and I've never read the Bible. And so I started reading the Bible probably about 5 weeks now, and I read it daily. And that has really empowered me to decipher that information and to be able to apply it and to move forward. So that's what's helped me.
Okay. Imran, how do you keep your energy up? How do you keep going in despite the challenges?
So I have passion for what I do, and I think that passion keeps me motivated. We are in an industry where we are serving people. This is not, we are not into retail business selling products, and we have the opportunity to be part of someone's life-changing experience. And I take that as a big responsibility. And when you make a positive impact on other people's life, right? And the appreciation that you get, the smile, the appreciation, I think that keeps me motivated. And no matter how hard I work, no matter how much stress I have, end of the day, I'm happy for what I do.
Okay. All right. Here's some things that I'm hearing from both of you, right? How you take care of yourself matters. In the MREA book, it talks about an energy plan, right? So this stuff is not making it up. And you hear of exercise, and I don't know if you said into that, you hear of some meditation and or prayer, right? Taking care of yourself. And yet you're out there to serve others at a high level. Can't win with others until you win with yourself. And there's all sorts of news. Just for an activity, you know, Chad will never get political, but for fun, I open up CNN and I open up Fox News and I read the difference and it makes me laugh. It really just makes me laugh out loud. And if you're on one side of the spectrum, I won't tell you, just the information and how you know that it's not coming to us in a manner that we can really decipher and read through. And yet our job is to go out and help people in the world of real estate, right? In a span of 30 minutes in my office, I had someone who was almost in a hazmat suit and said we should be locked down for another 18 months. And then I had, they'll remain nameless, somebody else that says this is a conspiracy and a hoax. Who's right or wrong? It's not my job, right? In my position, my job is just to push people forward and help them to achieve their goals in the world of real estate. Offline, I could have a little bit of filter, but I think that's the service. Hear where people are, right? Help them make good decisions. Do I feel like buying a property right now is a good decision? Absolutely. In the core of me. Refinancing your home, in the process of doing that myself. I think that's really critical. And we got to get information. Buying a new construction, yeah, you better be hurrying if you want to buy something in the next 60 days because the inventory is going to shrink anymore.
And Chad, I want to add one more thing here.
Yeah.
And this is my advice to, people who are listening. Don't be a salesperson, especially in times like this. Be a consultant, be an advisor. In a time of turbulence, people reach out to you to get advice. I was getting calls on the day of closing in March that, hey, Imran, should we move forward and close on our homes? What do you think? What's going to be the situation? I had 2025 dirt build contracts in first quarter of 2020, and people were really concerned that if the market goes down, right, what will happen? Should we move forward? Should we give our design center deposits? So people will reach out to you more because they see you as a consultant, they see you as an advisor. We know what happened with, Zillow, we know what happened with Open Doors and other companies, Redfin, right? They just left their sellers like that, and now people will reach out more to people who they trust. And that's what you need to be. Be a consultant, be an advisor, not just a salesperson.
Yeah.
All right. I agree with that. I totally agree with that. Whenever you come from contribution and you care about your clients, you care about them, where you're providing information, you're educating them for them to make the best decision for themselves and for their family. And this is like all the time. This isn't just like during COVID for me. It's like all the time, because people could smell. People could smell a salesperson. Just like whenever you go to a car dealership and somebody's just motivated with just getting a sell, they could do that here in real estate. And so whenever you come from that point where you have their best interests at heart, and it doesn't mean, if they refinance instead of selling their property, then great. You have a client that will know that they mean more to you than a paycheck. And eventually that will come around one way or another. That will come around.
That's great advice. All right, we did a survey. I didn't get all the responses, but here's the survey. We went out and you guys were on this. Hopefully you completed your survey. I don't know if you did or not. I just know the results. And we asked people for the group is you had a transaction, meaning you either closed, you either put something under contract, or you obtained a listing in the last 60 days. And we asked them, first question, what was your source of business? Where did it come from? It didn't come from Ernest. We do know that, right? So over 90% of people said the current business they're doing today came from where? Valerie?
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I got distracted.
Sorry, Imran,
Man,
where did
can
their
you repeat
business
that
come
question?
from?
Probably referrals.
Yeah, that's it. Sphere referrals came from it. 90% evidence is saying if you want to close a deal today, reach out to your database, reach out to your Sphere, reach out to your past clients, any of those specifically. So it was funny is we had that, it was over 90%, and then we had the box other, and people would put on the other referral, brother, sister, a friend. I'm like, no, that's your Sphere. And I went, okay, maybe we don't articulate enough is if you want evidence of success, go create a database. That's why we're pushing command. Reach out to your people and check in on them. That's what's driving business today. Now, we still get some from social media. We still get some from farming. We still get some from HAR leads or sign calls. It's still in there, but it's from here to just a little bit of the other. That's one piece. Here's the next piece is, how many hours do you think agents are lead generating a week?
Depends on which agent it is, right?
Well, they're closing a deal. So how's that? They've closed the deal in the last 60 days.
Oh, one deal? Well,
I don't know. It could be one, it could be to 20.
Yeah. Well, it just depends. I mean, if you're lead generating the way that you're supposed to, then you're gonna get those referrals. I mean, it's a matter of time. Whatever you put into it is what you're gonna get back.
The majority of people that we're learning on, even office they're closing deals, are lead generating 5 hours or less a week. And that's not good evidence. That's just like, you have such an opportunity. If you want to come out of this industry and make it, go lead generate, go check on the people that are closest to you, put them in command and follow up with them. The evidence is off the chart. And we went to the next column is how much are you spending in marketing, right? And most of them are spending less than $100, about $100 or less. It doesn't take money to close deals either. That is prospecting and difference between marketing. Prospecting I'm doing a little preaching here. You guys get to listen to it. But prospecting, all it takes is time. It's low cost. And right now, you just said the keyest things. If we're servant hard, if we truly just call and check in on people, it's so easy to do and important. And we help people to make good decisions based on what they need.
I totally agree. And those calls, those care calls are like the easiest calls to make because you're checking on them. You're seeing how they're doing. And whenever they hear your genuine tone and you're asking to see how they're doing and what can I help you with at this point in your life, you know? And sometimes they're going to say, you know, majority of the time they're going to say nothing, you know, thank you for checking up on me. And every once in a while you'll have somebody that really needs help. Yeah. You know, and you're there for them. It's like the easiest call ever to make.
Yeah. You both have kids. How's that going right now?
Well, so for the first 4 or 5 weeks, I was at home bunkering down with the kids, and oh my gosh, what a challenge. And I have outsourced some help there because I got to get some work done. You know, so I have been blessed. I have somebody that's taking care of the kids and then also somebody that's helping me with tutoring them as well. I'm not the best teacher, never have been. And so, well, regarding schoolwork anyways. And so that's what I'm doing with the kids.
Okay. Imran, how about you? Challenges with the kids?
I think I'm really enjoying. So when I told you I was not taking any appointments in March, I was spending a lot of time with my kids. And I feel that it's an amazing experience because on my regular days, I leave at 10. I come back home sometimes at 6, 7. If it's summer times, I come at 9 and my kids are waiting. So this was one opportunity where I got a lot of time to spend with my kids. And then also reach out to a lot of my relatives back in India with whom I didn't speak for last 3, 4 years, 5 years. And it was really amazing. So sometimes,
Wow.
in difficult times like this, you make more connections with your loved ones. And then I also got enough opportunity to look after myself because I had enough time to go out running, take care of myself. And yeah.
Well, there's always a gift in every opportunity, right?
Yes.
And so that is certainly something as a family. I think the greatest curse is we return back to whatever we call as normal. We go back to our hectic family, our busyness schedule, and we forget the time that we have that we can spend with our kids because it is valuable. And yet
Oh,
I
I
get the
agree with
challenge
that.
of it. Yeah. I
Yeah,
certainly get. Go ahead.
there's a silver lining with this because so obviously it has really put a stop to a lot of things that you normally do, and so you do spend your quality time with your children. Exercise, I've been exercising 4 to 5 times a week, around the neighborhood and things like that. And so, and what's so beautiful is that you get to meet your neighbors. I've met so many neighbors in the last couple of weeks. And even like Allie, my daughter, she's 6 years old. So we have 3 children. We have a 12-year-old, we have a 10-year-old. Those are the 2 boys. And then we have Allie, which is 6 years old. And Allie she's a little social butterfly, just like her daddy. And she tends to be like, lately she's been a little introverted because we've been at home, right? Like they've been at home a lot more than they normally are. And so we didn't even know that there was a neighbor right across the street, catty corner to us. And they have 2 little girls, 4 and 6 years old. And we barely met them 2 days ago, and they've been living there for 2 years. And it's like, you're so caught up in all this movement that you miss getting to connect with your neighbors, getting to connect with your community. And so that right there is a blessing. That's a huge blessing.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay, good information. All right, one final thought. Anything else that you'd like to share with the group that you missed? Filter, Valerie. All right, Imran,
Okay.
anything you'd like to share with the group that we might have missed? What would be the one piece of advice? We got over 90 people on the call. What would be your one piece of advice that you would give to your colleagues, real estate professionals right now?
As I just previously said, that people will reach out to you more than ever before, and be an advisor. It's not about just selling your homes. It's also about giving right advice, because this is one of the biggest financial investment, right? And be that person, and you will see your business growing.
Awesome. That's good advice. Valerie?
So I would recommend to do your due diligence and finding out a little bit more truth. Also, and this is just kind of I think this is by far probably one of the more important things that I could really leave people with, is to check out a bill that was proposed on May 1st of 2020 to the Congress by the House of Representatives. And it's the bill is labeled HR 6666. And obviously we all know that that number is not a good number. And within that bill, there's a lot of different things, and it's vague language. And there's part of it is contact tracing, which you've heard of it on the news, where they're starting to implement it this week. My family and I will not agree to contact tracing. We don't agree with it at all. Based on my knowledge, the state has already approved $295 million to go to contact tracing, and it's voluntary at the moment. So that would be something that I would advise people to look into it. If anybody wants information, I'd be more than happy to share a couple links. You're you're welcome to email me at valerie@sugarlandpm.com. So it's VALERIE @sugarlandpm, like petermary.com. And I'd be more than happy to share a couple of links. But that would be the most important thing to check out.
Well, here's what I'd add to that is, because we can't come from contribution unless we're knowledgeable. Now, where I'm going to drive into, know your local market, right? So, and I think we tell ourselves stories that are not true. So it's interesting. I was thinking that, yeah, our business is down, and overall our business is down. The market is down. We're down a little bit. We're still outpacing the market. And yet I'm like, man, let me go look at the top 20 report. So I looked at it last week. And the first thing that it is, I compared the top 5 to last year at the same time. Here's what I learned. The reason I'm having you on the call, you have more gross commission income this year to date than you had last year. So you're growing in a pandemic. Well, that's the story is our top people are going out and doing the work, except for your 1 month, Imran. Good thing Pinky was working. And I say that, but you're going out and work and there's a need. And if we truly go check on people, there's such an opportunity. And if you're a new agent in the business and you don't hear this, let me just shake it to you. You're in the greatest opportunity that you're going to see right now to serve people and to get them other. And there's an uptick in real estate transactions. And the inventory is tight. We need more listings, by the way. So if that seller is on the fence, now is the time to convince them to put your house on the market. Of course, we're going to practice social distancing and we're going to do the things more. You can disagree. Part of that is just to be respectful how people come. People come, I want to be locked in my house for 18 months. People come this is a hoax. I'm not paying attention to any of them. And we got to relate to say, okay, but how does that fit into your real estate needs? How can we help move you forward? That's the message. Okay, you guys are rocking and rolling. I appreciate you sharing your insight with us as well. Imran, keep selling those homes. Yes. Valerie, keep good job keeping Ernest under control. You guys are a lot of fun. I appreciate your heart and the way that you move forward. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right,
Thank you
so don't leave with us the rest of the group. We still have some more people here. Let me get to my panel of our people that are jumping on. All right, before I get them and they're moving around, it's no worries as well. First off, I want to congratulate. We had an awesome Red Day last week. Kamal on the AOC helped lead that. Linda Day was a big advocate. We were able to fill up that East Fort Bend Human Needs truck. They were super ecstatic. We were able to really bless some families as well. And yet Red Day's not over. We still have another opportunity. One is your blood. You know, Norman, he always wants blood. And so Norman is doing a blood drive. We still need 12 more volunteers for blood. The mobile truck will actually come here. It won't be in the building and you can do it. So if you reach out, Norman has posted that. I don't know how many times, so keep going. But if you'd like to join us in the blood drive, that's literally giving where you live and it's giving back with red. That's awesome. All right, let's jump into it. Dale, get us started. Give us an update.
Yes, sir. So some new things for you as agents to think about that could potentially put some delays in your closings. What we're seeing right now is when we pull credit reports that creditors, so it could be Chase Bank that you currently have a car payment with, is automatically eliminating a payment amount on the credit reports that are due. What's going on is it's showing that you still have a balance, you still have an account with Chase, but it shows that no payment is due. The problem is that our computer system, when it calculates a person's ability to repay the mortgage plus their other debts, that debt is not counted into their qualifying numbers. Sometimes it may mean that if a loan officer is not on top of their game and sees that this extra debt needs to be counted, they may tell you that these buyers might qualify for a loan, that in theory, when we add in a $400 or $500 payment for a car, that they can't any longer qualify. One of the other things that could potentially be a stopping point in the process could be that if there is no payment reported, that we as lenders are going to require additional documentation from your buyers to prove what those current payments are. student loans, auto payments, some credit card payments, and mortgages are being deferred or in forbearance right now. So the guidelines state we have to prove that the people are out of forbearance for a minimum of 1 day. Documentation proving that they're out of forbearance may put a little bit of a delay in a closing date as we get close to closing. The guidelines also state that 10 days minimum from closing, we're required to pull a credit refresh. The credit refresh, we're looking for additional debts. That may be done at last minute, and these buyers may be delayed in their closing just because we are waiting on documentation. So make certain you've understood that you're working with a lender that knows that if things are in forbearance, did you count that debt in qualifying these buyers? We want to make certain we're not writing offers for homes that people can't qualify for.
Okay, awesome. Where are the rates today? What are you seeing?
We're seeing rates continue to kind of go down. Right now, a 15-year term on a purchase is at about 2.75% with perfect credit. 3.25 is available on a 30-year fixed rate with perfect credit. Be aware that
perfect credit mean?
Perfect credit is 740 or higher credit scores.
Okay.
There are other factors. Obviously, debt ratios need to be below 40, 45%.
Awesome. Well, he just said 275 on a 15-year. 275. Do we look at rest? Oh, yeah. I can still remember us having this conversation when we were 8.5, Andy and I, our first home, and we bought down a lot of points, and we thought we were getting such a great deal. I was talking to another leader in the 80s when interest rates were 20%. Obviously, couldn't sell a home, and how creative they have to get. And we're in a crisis or in a shift with interest rates in low 3s, dipping into the 2s.
Absolutely. And so, you know, you can do your buyer a service, and you may suggest to them that they may pay a couple $100 more, but eliminate that debt in 15 years. You know, you're building wealth, you're increasing your equity position in the home much faster, and over the life of the loan, you're going to save 15 years of interest payments.
Yeah.
Huge.
Yeah, that is. All right, celebrity title. Lisa, you're up. You're on mute. Do you want me to do it? There you are.
I got it. Took me a second. How are you?
Great.
Good. The only thing I really have now is that we got a memorandum yesterday, or excuse me, the 18th, just talking about HUD foreclosures and reminding the underwriters of the fact that the Secretary of State kind of postponed being able to foreclose on the HUD foreclosures, and that we need to be careful when those are coming through our desks. So that's the biggest change that we had last week for us, outside of the normal things that we've been talking about in the last couple of weeks, which is the remote online notarization and the remote e-notarization. I will say that we've been doing those a lot more than we've ever had before. We've gotten really good at those. In addition to that, every now and again, we have had, this week, we've noticed that a lot more people are doing it that are a little more uncomfortable. So we've been holding hands a little bit more in Celebrities Title's world and making sure that people are comfortable with it. We've even had one client who was scheduled to do an online notarization, but came to our office to do it because they just wanted to be sure they had the help. So we are always there to help any of you or any of your clients. But for us, not has changed much from last week to this week in the world of title, besides what we're seeing in the field. So.
Okay. All right. Reliant.
Hello.
Hey,
good morning.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good.
So today I'm going to talk about the Edify again. Okay. Like yesterday, Dana sent me a referral. I closed that. That make me think like, because like those neighbors, there's those people sitting around me in the cubicle, like Dana, Winona, Bernadette. My closing rate is really high with them. Okay. So
Great.
the thing is because they know me, they trust me. So when they trust me, they will tell their customer what they feel about me. Because how you say about me in front of your customer, it builds a strong bridge with them for me. That way, before they call me, I have some credibility, okay? I mean, if like in 10-point system, if I can close the sale, I require 7 points, okay? And then you probably, the agent can contribute up to 4 points. I can contribute 6 points. So at least 1 point need to come from the agent to saying some good thing about me, or saying, I mean, it's not you're going to make up something to tell them, but it's just like tell them few things about me. Like for myself, I think I'm honest, straightforward. I will always follow up, and then I normally give them the paper, the EFL, to show them the price, so that way they know what they're getting. Okay. So because like Vanola, I mean, she's been doing referral for a long time, for a few years, okay, before me. So I checked on her account, she total have 84 referral, okay. That make her referral money is over $5,000, okay. After
Wow.
she switched to me, I mean, I closed all her referral except one, because the customer was paying better price. So I just tell the customer, oh, just keep using your price, and transfer that one. But
Okay.
the thing is, when we build up the good relationship, I have confidence. When your customer call me, when I have confidence, I can coach yourself better. So I think Edify is playing an important role here. So yeah, so continue. The referral for electricity is $75. For home security is $250. Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah, awesome. All right, appreciate you sharing that with us as well. All right, you guys can stay on here. A couple other announcements I want to give to make sure that reach out to Norman if you're interested in giving blood. We have that next week. He'll have all the details. We're looking for maybe another 11 or 12 people to jump in. You're not going with anybody else. It's one person at a time in the mobile truck. The next thing is we still have a reimbursement on command. We extended that another month. So if you have a closing in June and July, why would you not go spend $200 on online advertising that we're going to give you the money right back again? So if you have one, just go put it into command. If you need help, Norman's available. Nimesh has it all. Don't forget about the KWSW25.com. It's a great resource for you to go to as well to give you some insight. Great Red Day videos. Thank you for who all participated in that and giving back. So have an opportunity Red Day. And then we also have an agent as well. Our goal for David, he has his son. It's in Texas Children. Tough situation. Hard worker, great guy. If you had an opportunity not to give to that, we'll send the link out again and post it. Our goal was to raise 5,000. I think we're closing in on 4,000. So if we could get the 5, that would be really cool to bless a family as well. That's tough if you hear the story and read into that as well. But yet I'm here. Here's my last encouragement. Reach out to people. Pick up the phone and call and check on people. I'm going to say this, and maybe you might come and shoot me in the back of the head because you're tired of listening to it. Your database matters. Command is the tool. Reach out to people and check into them. That's how our top people are closing deals today. And they're coming from a servant heart. They're coming from contribution. They have the value, and they're helping people to move through in the world of real estate. It's pretty simple. I've been on hundreds of Zoom calls, and it all gets down to that message. And yet, oh my gosh, interest rates are crazy. You got people that are partnered with to help you. So if there's anything else that I can do, please let me know. I'm here to help you. We're in the office. Couple announcements. We are opening the office back up. Doesn't mean we're jumping into the training room. We're going to do maybe a couple of small classes in June through Ignite and some of that. We'll continue with our Zoom format like this as well. I'm not ready to put 100 people in the training room, and that would scare me a little bit, right? And maybe I shouldn't be. Valerie, you say I was crazy. The other people would say I'm not. So we're not going to do that as well. We are allowing you to have a little of a green light on the open houses. So consider that. Be very... Andy sent out an email that was very specific what to consider when you're doing an open house as well. And remember, people are coming from 2 different spectrums. Let's relate to them. You can't really, bad press is not good. Let's not make sure we end up on social media, right or wrong. Let's make sure that we're not there. So we're here to help. Keep pushing forward. It's a great opportunity. We're seeing an uptick in activities, and we need listings, quite frankly. Go get listings. Okay, that's all I got. You guys have a great day. We'll talk to you next week. Let me know if you need anything.
Thank you.
All right, bye.
Bye.